Time for our final lap here on Breakfast Central on a Wednesday morning. Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the 2023 presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, has sounded the alarm on what he believes is a deliberate plot by Lagos to marginalize Nigeria's northern region. Now, speaking at Skyline University's convocation ceremony in Kano State, Kwankwaso specifically pointed to Lagos's alleged involvement in the Emirate tussle in Kano, claiming that the city is trying to impose its will on the region. How possible is this? And is there anything that's close to this that ever occurred? Well, joining us to discuss this quickly, we do have the National Publicity Secretary of the NNPP, talking about Mr. Ladipo Johnson, who joins us this morning. Welcome, and thank you for doing this with us. Let's see how quickly we can bring out the facts from this story as soon as possible, because we're pressed for time. Let me start off first by saying, where did the notion, the idea, the conception, the marginalization come from that Lagos is trying to impose its decision on the north?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I think if you're used to the way Senator Kwankwaso speaks, then you know that when he says Lagos, he's referring to the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So that was what he was saying about the fact that there are various issues, political issues occurring at the moment in which have been ascribed to other people who happen to be members of his administration. And he's said nothing, he's done nothing to draw them back in what they've done. And as you said, the distinguished senator, former senator, referred, of course, to the Emirates tussle in Kano. And he ended by saying they came to impose their own emir on Kano State. Yes, the matter is sub judice because it's still in court of appeal or what have you. But the bottom line is that majority of people know that when it comes to chieftaincy matters, it is the state governments, even the local governments, that have a say on it. So that is why a lot of people felt that it was baffling, to say the least, that the military and the police would have come to bring Ado Bayero back into Kano and place him in what used to be the Emir's guest house or so. And he's still there today. If you drive around, you'll see that the place has more security coverage, protection than the governor's house. So it could only, who controls the Nigeria police? Who controls the federal agencies? So it's an open secret. On the streets of Kano, they tell you that this is the emir, Sanusi is the emir of the people, and this is the emir of the federal government. You know, so it's very sad, and we hope it will be sorted out soon. But that was what Senator Kwankwaso meant by Lagos. He's not talking about you and I who stay in Lagos. He's talking about
is he saying, you know, directly that there is a certain Lagos cabal, you know, if I can use that word, that has imposed this emir on the people of Kano State, you know, and how does this also impact on the rest of northern Nigeria outside Kano?
Well, the word cabal, well, if I were talking by myself, I would say yes. But as a spokesman of a party, I wouldn't say that. But what he's saying is that whomsoever or whoever the people are who are behind this issue, the buck stops at the president's table, and he cannot feign ignorance as to what happened or what has been happening and the position of things as we speak. You remember that Senator Kwankwaso's daughter got married last week or so at the weekend, and it was done at the Emir's Palace, the main palace, that's Emir Sanusi Lamido. And they've planned another wedding, I think it's coming up this weekend or next one, or sometime during the week, of which the Deputy Senate President, two daughters are getting married. And of course, they've done it to be witnessed by Ado Bayero in the so-called Emir's guest house. So these are the sort of things you're seeing. Now, how does it affect the North? I think that you'll recall that unfortunately, I was meant to be there. I wasn't at the event, the convocation of Skyline University. I think the conversation went into, I think he mentioned taxation and taxes as well. So there are lots of issues, especially that the North at the moment are talking amongst themselves and saying that, look, the proposed taxation bills before the National Assembly are not things they're comfortable with for this reason or for that reason. As a party, we are looking into it, and I'm sure that within a week we will come up with our position, proper position on the entire thing. But there are enough people, or lots of people in northern Nigeria, I dare say around the whole country, who want the bills on taxation to be paused so that it could go through thorough scrutiny. You'll recall that I think the economic whatever asked Mr. President to ask them to withdraw the bill for the time being, and they said no, it would go on. So these are the things that
it's maybe because
together.
of their their understanding of the new tax bill, or the way that it has been interpreted to them. Bear in mind that they have members of the National Assembly who also should have their own understanding. And of course, if these National Assembly members have no rejection to the bill, then I'm not sure where the issue is coming from. But I think the general idea that is being painted, because another thing that he mentioned is that businesses in Kano State are being forced to move their headquarters to Lagos, and something of that sort. But don't you think it's a dangerous narrative to be sold by Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso that might also ignite northern Nigeria against the current leadership in Nigeria if they feel and they believe, because of the influence that Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso has, if they believe that truly the people in Aso currently are trying to, in his words, colonize the north and northern Nigeria. Isn't that dangerous?
No, I don't think it's dangerous. On the contrary, I think what he's done is made a statement that has created an avenue for healthy debate as to the things that are going on. Of course, what affected the direct one, the first one was the Emirates issue. The second one was the issue of the local government elections they just had in Kano, which, certain people from the APC tried to stop the elections and what have you. The Federal High Court actually did say it shouldn't go on, but the State High Court had said it should go on. So you see, all these things are there, and it behoves on leaders, national leaders, to generate topics for conversation. Now, regarding what you said earlier as to the fact that, yes, they have members in the National Assembly, and where is it? Look, you might have members in the National Assembly. If they do not have the courage to raise issues that will now be discussed on the national platform by everyone, looking at all the regions, all the states, and everyone looking at what is going on vis-a-vis the progress of the citizens of their particular states, then people like Rabiu Kwankwaso, President Obasanjo, people like that, have a duty to raise such things. And I think that in the context that it has come out, it isn't capable of inflaming ethnic or geographical sentiments. I don't think that was his intention in any way. And I don't think the way that he couched it would have inflamed that, because he actually landed, you know, if you leave it in the air, it's there, it's dangerous for misinterpretation. But he actually was able to domesticate it and said they came to install their own, they're trying to install their own emir. So people will know that what he was saying.
Well, I want to say thank you for buying out time to clear the air, most importantly to explain what that statement meant from Lagos Axis, and also helping us to see what took place in the Emir's place, the wedding, and so on. We look forward to have you back, possibly in future, to discuss more about Mr. Kwankwaso's possibility of merging with one of the political stalwarts ahead of 2027. Thank you for your time. We'll look forward to having you again. Thank you.
All right.